But I slowed up at the door, didn't think I'd start a war. Whoa, I don't know if we got too comfortable. Who was right and who was wrong? Wrong. I had you running in circles, you had us fighting on purpose, but still I take the blame. With all the cracks in the pavement, it felt like nothing could save us, and so I walked away. Back when I thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better without you. Back when I thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better without you. I pushed you away to be on my own. Never know what I had till I let you go. Back when I thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better without you. When I thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better without you. Back when I thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better without you. I pushed you away to be on my own. Never knew what I had till I let you go. Back when I thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better, thought that I'd be better without you. Thought that I'd be better without you. Thought that I'd be better without you.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sunday, 5 PM. It's Tier 2 around COTA. 20 corners. It's a anti-clockwise track, so more left-handers than right. 19 drivers on today's grid. Only one AlphaTauri missing. Let's see if the boys can keep it clean and keep it good for a thrilling Circuit of the Americas. It's just me, Martin, today. Let's see what everyone's got. As Elsom has left the session, so we'll hopefully be able to get him in ASAP. Right, here we go. They're pouring out onto the track already. I believe that could be Chappers being the first car out. Chappers reserving. I'm ready for Bugmasters to be Bugmasters. But it's Chappers who's going to be leading the guys out around COTA today. Reserving William Jobber, reserving in Alpine today. We'll be looking for a solid set of results. Penultimate race of the season. Currently, Ule leads the drivers with Vlad just behind and Potts is just within touching distance. The constructors is Alfa Romeo 1, Aston Martin 2, Mercedes 3. It's a 3-horse race for both the drivers and the constructors currently. Now coming into the tricky sector 3, we can expect to see a few spins from a couple of drivers here possibly. As Elson once again leads. But Chapper's now coming up to the penultimate corner. He's going to have a Haas right behind him. And here he goes, making his start down towards the first corner. It's an uphill braking, so you can be later on the brakes and just swing it in nicely. Now through the winding section of Sector 1. This is where a lot of times can be lost and gained. One snap of oversteer and it can spell a disaster for your race here. As you see, Red Bull has spinned it sadly, or is on his outlap possibly. But Chapper's the first car on the track. Let's see what sort of times he can set. He's now going to truck it into the sharp braking point of 11, then back onto the straight. And this is the long DRS straight on towards turn 12. Late braking, this track is a very, very, very elevated track. Lots of ups and downs for the drivers to battle with. Throws it in nicely now onto yet another technical section of Sector 3. Looking like a very racy time though for Chappers now, as he's going to come onto the double left-hander. Now the long swooping right-hander onto the penultimate corner again. Chapper's going to be throwing down the gauntlet for those around him. And Chappers will set a 133. Next is going to be, not for Zendi, it's going to be Kizio. Also goes 133, but a little bit off the back. Then it's going to be not Monk, but Monk has invalidated. It's Potts with a 134.1, a little bit off the pace. Then it's a Ferrari of Lurgestam, who is invalidated. So then it will be Skowski. No, it's Ule, the current Drivers' Champion, who's currently put it P3. Now it's Skowski going to be next to come around the start finish line for his first lap. Keeping it within the white lines. A 1:34.3. And now we see a big train as Zendi goes P2. Rosu P3. It was trying to work out who was coming next. And now Binder's P9 though. And then next it's going to be Alsop. Alsop not invalidating on the penultimate corner now. Into the pits instead. So it will now be, I'm going to guess Harris. Harris coming around the last corner. Harris puts it P5. So a strong showing from Chappers. 4 attempts faster than the rest around him. And now it's going to be Hugendorn, who has actually had a moment on the long right-hander. It's going to be Van Loon setting a lap. Or starting a lap, sorry. Van Loon is starting his lap. Elsom on an out lap. Is Lurgestam on a lap? Lurgestam is on a lap and has gone on purple sector 2. What has Lurgestam got in the tank? A spin! Lurgestam has spun. Won't be very good for him there. As it's going to be, I'm going to guess Kopf then on a lap, or Monk next on a lap. No, Monk has invalidated. The Aston Martin pairing of 3 and 9 at the moment, respectively. As Kopf has a spin, this long swooping right-hander is being the downfall of many drivers here. You see Kopf swinging it in, just loses the back end halfway through the corner. Almost collects it, but not able to, sadly. So then it's going to be Elsom, who is on a lap. With Van Loon ahead, I believe. 19 drivers today. Van Loon has invalidated though, so we're going to switch back to Elsom. Because he's gone purple sector 2. Will he be able to put it where he needs to put it? A little bit of a snap there. Holds it tight. Takes the double apex corner of turn 18. Almost running a little wide down the penultimate corner. One final corner to go. Right on the limit. And Elsom goes P9 with that time. And the next, I believe, if anyone else is on lap, it will be Matthews and Alsop, who are currently battling for the track position. No, Matthews is starting his lap. Alsop has a Red Bull ahead. So let's see what Matthews can do around COTA. Currently only 11 cars have set a lap time. He's looking to drop a gear and disappear. Swinging it through now, coming to the end of sector 1. What sort of time are we looking at? Is that about it was 38 second first sector. As Alsop has started his lap further behind as well. Onto this long DRS straight. Expect to see some moves being made up into turn 12. It's a prime overtaking spot for so many drivers here. Now the double left-hander of turn 16 and 17. Now on to 18. This is where I believe a lot of time can be made or lost just from keeping the car together. Chooses to take a wider line. Has a Haas in front of him. Almost battling for position there. And he's invalidated. He's invalidated on the final corner. Nightmare. And Alsop is running very slowly here. So Alsop has thrown away this time as well. So the next one on lap, I believe, is the man No, he's starting his lap, so it might be Kizzy will start it on a lap. Because I believe that is Matthews in front, who invalidated right on the last corner. And Kizzy was set at purple sector 1. Kizzy probably should have moved out the way, but maybe he deemed that he did move himself out away enough. Kizzy now gone past turn 11, coming up to turn 12 now. Late braking, I believe it's a little bit of downhill braking. As he swings it in through, then it will be turn 13 and 14. And then 15, little kink into 16 and 17. And then the long right-hander of turn 18. I'm expecting to see a couple of DNFs here in the race, possibly, from people just losing it. But Kizzy now with 2 corners to go. Will he be able to beat Chapper's lap time? The sun gleaming off the track today. And Patrick Kizzle is going to set a P1. Beats Chapper's by 6 thousandths. Kizzle is currently your P1 driver. And now it's going to be not Hugendorn, Van Loon, who is starting his lap. So I believe we're going to switch to Monk, who was finishing his. Keeps it tidy on the exit. Hasn't invalidated Monk. Only P7. And now it's trying to work out who else is on the lap. I believe it's Rosu next. Rosu is starting a lap, sorry. Harris possibly, who invalidated. So might be starting a lap now. Skowski coming around the start-finish line now. I can't work out who is on a lap and who is not. Possibly Chapper's now is starting his lap. So it will be Elsom, who has just gone P10, I believe, or is starting a lap. It's really quite hard to tell. But Potts, I'm almost certain, is coming into the pits, as he's not had a good lap there. Then it's going to be McWilliams, who's invalidated, so he'll be coming into the pits. So it's going to be the Ferrari of Huveniers on the final corner. Hamadir was meant to be here. He hasn't turned up. Huveniers though with a P3. As the next across the line is going to be Van Loon, goes P11. Van Loon setting a 1:34.4. And next is going to be, I believe it is Rosu coming into the pits. I stand corrected. Binder has just started here, so it's going to be Harris, who's looking a lot faster, and Harris goes P1, sub 1:33. Harris sets the new fastest lap for this qualifying. It is the man to beat. Harris has put an absolute stonking lap, as meanwhile Vizendi has crossed the line and put it P4. The Haas have found some grip around here. The American car living the American dream. Chappers up into P2 though, with that time. Not quicker than Harris though. Harris found an absolute stonking amount of grip there. As it's going to now be, who will be next? Ferrari, possibly Lurgestam, is the next car on a lap with a Red Bull in front of him. I believe it's possibly Binder or Kopf. Kopf with a new wheel. I've just heard from Hamadir that he's referred to himself as an idiot as he signed up for an ACC race and forgot about commentating, as Lurgestam has once again not set a lap and is into the pits. 4 cars still yet to set a lap. Matthews though, with 1 corner to go, surely is starting his lap. That one was pain. I've been debated. Skowski on an in lap. Is that... Do I spot an Elsom in P5? I do. Elsom has gone P5, so it's Harris with Chappers P2, Kizil Vizendi P3 and 4 on the Hasses, Elsom P5, Huveniers P6. But right now, the only car on track is Matthews, looking to put a lap in. What can he do? Has gone through turn 11 now on the long DRS straight leading up to turn 12. The final few corners. Can Matthews keep this lap together and set a time? Because the top 10 is surely begging for it. There's a lot of there's a lot of space to be slotted in there. Matthews, final lap corner, goes P15. He has set a time. So Matthews, I don't believe has enough time for another lap. Currently, I'm imagining chat being Principal Skinner's looking down. As the next car on lap is probably... Well, Alsop, Hugendorn and Lurgestam still need to set a lap. But the next car on a lap, I believe, is... No, Rosu is about to be... He's in the third sector of his outlap. Every car is on the track but Harris. Harris saving a set, possibly, of softs. And Harris is retired, not choosing to set another lap. So Harris is your current P1 starter with a 1:32.9. There are drivers out there who can probably find some more time, but that is a rapid lap from Harris. So here we have Rosu is going to be the first car, unless the Red Bull ahead is on the lap as well. We shall see. As everyone is going to be jostling for position coming through the final sector. It's a very busy track at the back. Currently we're following Rosu. Might get a little bit of a tow from the Red Bull ahead. And it isn't Binder, so it's going to be Kopp ahead. Who is also on lap and has found 2 temps so far through Sector 1. He's on Sector 2 now. But Kopp has taken all his assists off, so he's in the learning series. The current title challengers are P7, P9 and P11. They're not having a good qualifying session at all. Oh, and Koff has spun on the same corner again. That's heartbreak for Koff. But it's now going to be Vlad then, looking to improve on his time. What can Vlad do? Vlad, final corner. Goes P5. Knocks Elsom down, as well as Huveniers. And now it's going to be McWilliams next to come across the line. Goes P12 with that. Finds 6 tenths. Kopf won't have enough time to do another lap. And next it is going to be Ule. And Ule's invalidated. So Ule is starting at best 9th. And next is going to be Binder. But Binder has also invalidated. So it's going to be not Van Loon as Hugendorn got it. Hugendorn has yet to set a time. But hasn't invalidated this. Hugendorn with one last shot. Don't miss his chance to blow. And it's a P13 for Hugendorn. As Vizendi goes P2. And now it's going to be the Ferrari of not Lurgestam. It's going to be Huveniers. Next to come across the line. P7 for Huveniers doesn't improve. Skowski goes P4. Kizil does not improve. Or if he does, it wasn't enough. Next up is going to be Van Loon not improving. Chappers goes the fastest though. Chappers is your new P1 as things stand. Alsop found some time, goes P14. Potts up into P7. Monk couldn't improve. Couldn't improve because he's invalidated. Elmans. Absolute chaos right at the end there, as everyone was trying to come across the line at the same time. Woo! But what a start to this event. Some rapid times being set by the guys. And there you have... Oh, that is not everyone. That will be your sprint race lineup. But it's looking a little bit overcast here. Could we see a splash of rain towards the end this afternoon? As the highest up of the constructors, I believe, was Vlad Oskowski. So there's a lot to play for. In all the title contenders are in the middle of the field. As we're going to have our first formation lap of the afternoon, or the evening, depending on what time it is for you. And it'll be Chappers leading us off. With Harris in P2, Vizendi P3, Skowski P4, P5 goes to Kiziel, 6th to Rosu, Potts 7th, Ule currently down in P10. So this is monumental. Let's see who's the big gainers and who's the big losers. McLaren did have a stinker in qualifying, split by the AlphaTauri of Alsop, the lone AlphaTauri this evening, as Sanderson was sadly pulled out of this race, but 19 cars around COTA. Who do we think Potts will need to find some pace on the track? And so will Rosu. Both of them will be wanting to gain places on the cars ahead. But, in the meantime, who do you think is going to be your winner of this sprint race? Yes, very true. All three title contenders are not in the top 5. Skowski in the constructors is the highest placed car. McWilliams for the constructors is the lowest placed car. The Alpine curse chat is saying, will Chappers suffer the same fate? Chappers and Elsom, P1 and 8. Solid performance for them. Same for Vizendi and Kiziel, P3 and 5 respectively. As here we go, they're now going to be doing their last warm-ups before we get ready to go. Nail-biting stuff. As Huveniers overshoots his box, that's going to be a nightmare for him. McWilliams here trying to put it perfectly in. The last of the cars lining up now. It's going to be Chappers as we have the 5 lights on. The 5 lights are off for us. McWilliams jumps the start. That's a nightmare for him and the Aston Martin group. And there's a big gaggle of cars coming up as one of the Hasses looks to cover off the Alfa Romeo. It's going to be Potts up into P5. Rosu has lost a few places, but Hoovany is up into P7. McWilliams in P12 with that drive-through though, but the front two pulling away already from the Haas pairing. As they're going through the S's section, it's going to be Harris who now leads Chappers. Then it's going to be Vizendi and Kizio as there's been a spin, and it's a Red Bull. And it's Binder. Binder's had a moment at the back. As McWilliams is still battling it out. Everyone looking for moves where they can. And it's Harris has spun. Harris has spun. Oh no. Harris all the way down to P18 from that spin. Does he have damage there as well? Because someone looked like they was about to drive into him. I think he might be listening in end plate. So it's now a Haas 1-2. Chappers and Potts battling side by side. Ule gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags or something. Chappers and Potts still side by side. And gaining on Kizio as well. Kizio closes the door slightly on Potts there. But Potts makes the move on Chappers' stick. Potts has taken a massive dub. As meanwhile Ule's down in P12 as things stand. That'll be Vizendi is your now race leader. Kizio P2, Potts P3, Chappers on his rear P4, but it looks like there's a lot of moving and shaking further back. The Ferrari's going side by side. Hooveniers and Lurgestam as McWilliams is into the pits to serve his drive-through, and it's going to be Lurgestam making a move. Monk makes a bold move to try it and go up the inside and follow Lurgestam through on his Ferrari teammate. As meanwhile Chappers has got back past Potts. Flowing stuff from the boys so far. Everyone's still not dropped a second off the back of the next car, other than the back three as things stand. So here we go. We're going to be coming up to turn 12. Potts now having to defend Ule's teammate Skowski. This is important for the constructors as well as the drivers. Skowski playing the ultimate team role has got one of the title contenders in front behind him already. Now just has the other one to get past. But there's no doing, and meanwhile Chappers was looking mightily feisty behind the back of Kizio as Elsom and Ule are battling it out for P10 and 11. And Elsom has got past Ule, and Hugendorn looks to make a send up the inside of Ule, but Ule with enough speed covers it off. Woo. But back to P15, and it's going to be Alsop and Kopf battling it out for P15 and 16 at the back here. Side by side through the long right-hander. And he gets the move done, but the fastest lap being traded by the front three. And Potts maybe dropping a little bit off the back of Chappers here. As Harris sets the fastest lap in P17, but that clean air, mightily fast. As meanwhile it's Vizendi with Kizio in P2, Chappers in P3, and we've got a yellow flag, and it's for Kopf. Kopf has had lost traction sadly on the second corner and has dropped off the back. It's not a race that Red Bull want to remember already sadly. It's McWilliams who served his drive-through up into P17, but back to the front because it's going to be Kizio having to defend Chappers. Will have the DRS given to him from his teammate, but Chappers is looking mightily fast here this afternoon. And we have a yellow flag again, and it's Binder this time has had a moment. Red Bull are not having a good race this afternoon in this sprint. But meanwhile we see Lurgestam struggling to keep up with the back of Rosu. The front six might be about to drop Lurgestam off the back. And yes, Haas are living the American dream. A Haas 1-2 in the sprint, looking mightily fast and consistent. Vizendi, Kizio, Chappers, Potts, Skowski, Rosu, Lurgestam, Hooveniers, Monk and Elson round out your top 10. Only the top 8 get points from this though. As we switch to Chappers, because Chappers might be on the offensive here. We're 4 laps down now. This is the 4th lap of 10. And it's more of a status quo now. The DRS has been activated, but Lerdestam is outside of a second as Harris now getting past Alsop side by side through turn 1. Wheel-to-wheel stuff from the boys. Harris will have the inside for the next corner. But Alsop holds on the outside. A little bit of wheel banging from the pair. And possibly a little bit of a dodgy overtake there. A lot of banging from the pair there, though. As Monk in the background there, looking to make a move again on Hooveneers. Lerdestam does not have the DRS. Lerdestam in danger here, as Monk looking to make a double move. 3 wide, down into turn 12, and Monk gets past the Ferrari pairing, but Hooveneers are looking to hold on the outside. You have the inside for the next corner. Very tight stuff. And Hooveneers is back through, but now Monk will have the inside. Monk taking a much tighter line. And Monk makes the move stick, and Lerdestam now. And then we see Alsop spins in the background. Alsop has a snap in the background. And he's dropped all the way down into P16. TPing his first race today. That's going to be heartbreak for the man. But Vizendi still leading halfway through now. Chappers hunting down the Haas pair. Started P1 down into P3. And then it's going to be Potts holding on to the back of these. This is all important points in this Drivers' Championship. Ule down in P10. The front 6 have dropped off. Monk now, who is 7th. Monk might be looking to drop off the Ferrari pairing. Does he have the pace to do it, though? As back to the front we see Chappers is a lot closer to Kizyul than he normally is. Kizyul still with the DRS, though. It's very tight stuff as Hooveneers has done Monk, but Monk and Hooveneers are battling it out side by side. I wonder who got the DRS there, because they were battling it into the DRS, and it's Monk who has the DRS. So Monk has the DRS to defend this. As meanwhile, Chappers looks for a move on the outside. The front 3, Chappers is pushing Kizyul along, right up to the back of Vizendi. Might have to get creative with his lines, as his front wing is right in the diffuser of Kizyul. And these guys squabbling is bringing the Mercedes back into this as well. But Chappers looking to go up the inside of this long right-hander, side by side into the penultimate corner. Chappers pulls out. Kizyul defends for now. Chappers rear light flashing. As Monk, the Danish train. As Lerdestam has lost the position to Ule. Ule up now into P9, but we're going to switch back to 3rd and 4th. Because it looked, for a second there, it looked like Potts was thinking of a move. But there's no doing as Harris sets another fastest lap. Another one. And these front 4 looking very racy here. As meanwhile, 7th is now 2.5 seconds behind. Rosu hanging on to the back of Skowski, who's still on the back of the Mercedes here. The Mercedes not getting as good a drive as Chappers did through the Sector 1 though. Chappers regaining, and there's a yellow flag, and it's Alsop. Alsop has retired. Let's see what happened there. Alsop looks to have had a snap and is into the wall and has lost his front wheel. So Alsop will be starting from the back of the grid here, but back to the front because it's Kizyul with Vizendi P2. Potts has dropped down to P5 actually, and it's going to be Skowski looking to make a move there side by side. Potts though covers him off and defends on the next corner. Has Harris had a moment? From chat, it appears Harris has also had a moment. As meanwhile, the battle is raging all over the track. I wish I had a co-commentator today to help me out with this. There are so many people. And it looks like it might be Matthews that's had a spin. And Matthews has had a spin. On the inside there. Will Harris and will they collect each other? No, Matthews moves out of the way of Harris. But back to the front. Luke Matthews with a capital L. It's Vizendi who still leads There's 2 L's in Williams because both their drivers are taking L's today. But Vizendi leads with Kvyat P2. Chappers all over the back of Kvyat once again. As we're going to now come up into turn 11, the late braking point. Potts has managed to reclaim that position from Skalski. Chappers gets a big snap, and now Chappers might have to be on the defensive instead, as we see Monk running a little bit wide there as well. Chappers with a monumental snap there, but not under any threat. It's actually Monk there under threat. Holds it together though, and Monk will still be in P7, scoring 2 points as things stand. But Vizendi in the Haas, your P1 driver currently, Kvyat holding a solid P2 right behind. The Haas 1-2 is still on. Chappers though will not give up, and I won't expect Potts and Skalski and Rosu to give up either. Coming through the final corner now is Vizendi. 3 laps to go for Vizendi. Can he hold on? Will he be able to do it? As Harris picks up a 3-second time penalty, and Skalski's down into P12. Skalski has had a moment there and is down into P12. That is a nightmare for Skalski and for the Alfa Romeo team. But back to the front now, as it's going to be Vizendi still leading us. As Matthews now has a 3-second penalty, and it's Elsom who is spun again. But here we know there's 5 drivers in contention. Chappers is looking very racy on the back of Kvyat once again. We don't know if there was contact or not from Skalski, or if he just lost grip and traction control. Or lost traction. And Chappers spins! Talking of losing traction, it's Chappers! Chappers is spun and has lost so many places. Potts now up into P3, Rosu up into P4. This is a nightmare for Alfa Romeo, as the other drivers are gaining points on them. The Alpine curse lives on. Let's watch that back once again. Chappers all over the back of Kvyat, just drops it there. Chappers reserving for Williams reserve driving today. But back to the front now, because it's going to be Vizendi and Kvyat, with Potts now chasing them down. Rosu just within a second, and Monk still defending the Ferrari of Huveniers. There are now 3 L's in the Williams for the additional L that they just took. But it's Vizendi almost dropping Kvyat off the back here. And Rosu is dropping off the back of Potts. The front 3 are pulling away from the rest of the field now. Will they be able to make it stick and make it count, as we got a yellow flag in Sector 1 for one of the Red Bulls, sadly. And Rosu will not have the DRS. So now it's going to be Vizendi on Kvyat, on Potts. Are they going to just stick with the 1-2 Haas, or are Kvyat and Vizendi going to battle it out for that top step and the pole position? As meanwhile, Hoogendoorn has made a move on Lurgestam up into turn 12. Will be on the outside for the next corner though. Lurgestam manages to make the defence stick. But maybe a switchback from Hoogendoorn. Looks for the inside line through the double left-hander. Nearly given no space at all. Woo. As back to the front though, is going to be Vizendi with 1 lap to go. Final corner. As Elsom is down into God knows where. Elsom is in the depths of hell. Potts would love to overtake Kizel, that is very true. But I don't think he's got it in him. I think we're going to see a Haas 1-2. In this sprint race. Potts up to P3. Let's have a look who's been the big gainers. Potts has gained 4. Monk has gained 6. Lurgestam has gained 8. Harrison Chappers have lost 10 and 11. And so has Elsom. As Hooveners has made the move on Monk. Hooveners passed Monk in the final DRS straight. Left it for the last minute. But he's gonna make it stick. And Hooveners gets Monk. So it's going to be Vizendi coming around this long right-hander for the final time. P2 for Kiziel. And P3 for Potts. As Monk has lost another position. Monk and Skowski are battling it out now. As Vizendi is your race winner. But Monk has lost all sorts of grip and is all over the place. Ule, we don't know that 5 seconds. But Ule possibly back up into the points. To be decided still. But it's going to be Vizendi P1, Kiziel P2, Potts P3, Rosu P4, Monk 5th as things stand, Hooveners P6, Hugendorn P7 and Lurgestam P8 are your points paying positions. As Elsom here will be the final car to come across the start finish line. We will have a lobby restart to apply grid penalties. There are 2 to apply. Whew. As Lurgestam gets your driver of the day, he made an absolute I can't say the word. He made a huge charge up the field. Whew. As I've been atted somewhere. As we do have a lobby restart to do. As we're going to quickly go back to the starting screen while we get the new lobby set up.
Let's play pinball. Let's play pinball.
about the love we made. Forget about the past mistakes. Cause all you ever did was change. And I hate being with you, but I just cannot be alone. All the promises you break, you get me at a distance, babe. Now I don't wanna see your face, but I hate being alone. Yeah, I hate being alone. But I hate being alone. Yeah, I hate being alone. But I hate being alone. Yeah, I hate being alone. I hate being alone. I hate being alone. No. And I prefer to spend my nights without her. No, but I can't stay away. I wish that she could be the one I miss. But something tears me up inside when I call in the middle of the night. Forget about the love we made. Forget about the past mistakes. Cause all you ever did was change. And I hate being with you, but I just cannot be alone. All the promises you break, you get me at a distance, babe. Now I don't wanna see your face, but I hate being alone. Yeah, I hate being alone. But I hate being alone. Yeah, I hate being alone. But I hate being alone. Yeah, I hate being alone.
Hello, hello, and welcome back. The grid is set. The drivers have been told to ready up. 28 laps around COTA. Still to come. Who will take it home? Will the Hasses hold on for the 1-2? As a hydrate has been redeemed. First one of the stream. Ah, you mother truckers. Two more to come. As COTA is looking very sunny. This afternoon. A nice sunny COTA. This track is a medium degradation track, so expect to see tyre wear being very different depending on the drivers around. Some might be able to run slightly higher temps and or pressures and push it to the limit. There's a lot. The cars easily get over 200 miles an hour around this track. And a possibility that we could see a two-stop strategy actually work around here too. No safety cars in the main race yesterday. No safety cars in the sprint race today. Can the boys do it and keep 19 drivers, no safety cars? As once again, we're going to have another formation lap. There was some good battling all around the track, as the Hasses will lead us off. And let's have a look what tyres people have chosen. So the front three all on hard. Rosu has gone for mediums. Then all the way down to 9th is back on hards. Chappers has chosen the mediums. Van Loon, Skalski hard. Harris, McWilliams, Matthews and Binder on the mediums. Kopf and Elsom on the hards. And Alsop on mediums. As we're hearing calls of McWilliams being decent. Either that or he's just extremely laggy. He's very laggy. No, but could you just let McWilliams know that he's extremely laggy for me? He's laggy for a lot of the drivers. But back to the front as it will be Vizendi leading us through. Okay, he's got the red X. Can someone inform McWilliams that he is red X'd? Can someone inform the McWilliams in the FIA? Can someone inform McWilliams has desynced out of the lobby? As the drivers are lining up. Hugendorn in 6th place. But the lights go out. What was that? As Rosu gets a monster start. 4 wide into the first corner for a second there. And it's Rosu up into P1. Potts, Kiziel to P2. Potts to P3. And Vizendi P4. Further back, they're jostling around for position. As there's a spin, Monk has become drunk once again. Drunky Monkey has struck. Getting a big drift on and they're... Oh! Major contact there. The boys not able to keep it clean this time. McWilliams was definitely decent there, I think, for everyone. So someone really needs to let him know. Three wide for a second was Skalski. I think it was Hugendorn and Monk. As Vizendi and Lurgestam were battling it out side by side into turn 12. Lurgestam looking to make the move stick. And Alsop and Ule are battling it out for P8. Very important this. As Ule covers him off successfully. But Alsop on the mediums looking very racy. Chappers has got past Ule as well. But Rosu right now looking to gain over a second on the hard guys behind. And Lurgestam is putting pedal to the metal. As we start the second lap. Chaotic first corner. Monk, Koff and Matthews all into the pits. Alongside Skalski as well. And I believe that's Van Loon coming into the pits as well. So it's going to be Rosu who leads us with Kizil P2, Potts P3, Lurgestam on the hunt in P4 as we got yellow flags. And it's Vizendi and Huveniers seem to have had a coming together through the first sector. The boys did it so well through in the sprint race, but they're greeding a little bit in the main race, and it would appear to be a little bit of a clash, causing both of them to drop major positions. As meanwhile, Alsop now looks to have had a moment. Oh! That didn't look safe. Alsop is missing the front end plate on their wing, so it's clearly met barrier. But it's going to be Rosu leading Kizil with Potts P3, Lurgestam P4. They're all over a second outside of each other, but Lurgestam looking very racy, and so is Chappers on their mediums. But will the hard tyres be the superior starting choice is the next question. As meanwhile, it's Ule and Harris looking to get into a bit of a scrap here. Ule on the hards, Harris on the mediums. As Rosu sets the fastest lap. Rosu flying on their medium tyres. Harris is eyeing up Ule like he's a Polish snap. Harris looking to go round the outside, switches to the inside. Later on the brakes. And Ule looking for the switchback. But Harris just keeps it there. And Alsop has retired in the pits. So Alsop choosing to retire from this race already, sadly. Alsop is your first retiree of the race today. But Ule has been overtaken by Harris. And back to the action though, because it's Potts being dropped off the back by both Kizil and Rosu. Kizil holding on to the back of Rosu very well. It's going to be Potts in danger from Lurgestam and Chappers. Harris getting a little bit squiggly there on the exit though, and Ule might look to get back at him. But we're going to follow this as it's Potts having to defend Lurgestam. Lurgestam goes for the inside, Potts around the outside. And Lurgestam makes the move stick, and meanwhile Ule has also done Harris. Ule back up into P6 is mightily important for the drivers, as Ule is having to catch up to the Potts and Rosu, who are behind him in points, but are gaining points on him this afternoon. But back to the front, because it's now Lurgestam having to defend, but Chappers is looking very racy on the rear of Potts here. Potts may be in danger, as Matthews currently has been overtaken by Skalski as well. Both had to pit for wing damage. And it's going to be Chappers on the mediums looking to get past Potts. And Chappers makes the move stick into turn one. Easily as you like. Up the inside. Was ahead before the corner. As meanwhile we've got yellow flags, and it looks like it's for Matthews. Matthews had a spin on the long swooping right-hander. He's not having a good time, as meanwhile Monk has now set the fastest lap of the race. And then Huveniers has picked up a 3-second penalty for multiple track warnings. Lurgestam with Chappers on in the rear now. Potts not having the race pace that he did in the sprint, it would appear. As Chappers now looking to make a move on Lurgestam. Chappers makes the move stick before the corner, and Chappers is on a charge. That's another position, as Ule and Harris are still battling it out. We are still on the replay. I've just dawned on us, so I've replayed the replay. You have to take my word for it that Chappers sent it up the inside of Lurgestam on the straight and was very cleanly done. As further back, it looks like Vizendi is all over the rear of Hugendorn, as Monk has got past Kopf. McLaren are not having a good race here, as it looks like there's a spin, and it's Elsom. Elsom has spun on that dreaded corner, but Vizendi looking to try and find some grip and make a move on the final corner of this lap. Up the inside, cleanly through. You don't normally see someone make a move there. Hoogendorn falls down a place. Vizendi up a place. What a clean move that was by Vizendi. Got a monster drive out of the penultimate corner. Up the inside. Made it count. But back to the front because Chappers is now looking to close in on Kiziel. With Potts being reeled in by Harris. Harris, though, unable to shake Ule. Ule holding on to the back of Harris here. What is going... Will Ule get Harris? Will he make it count? Will he make it back at him? Harris's rear not flashing. Ule's rear not flashing. This... I don't own a bagel. I do not own bagels, as McWilliams, meanwhile, is up into P9. But he's got Hooveneers behind him, looking very racy. McWilliams on the medium tyre has used the mediums well. So here we have currently your race leader, Vlad Rosu, who's looking to maximise these tyres and pull away from his rivals in P5 and P7 as things stand. As it's now Harris looking to make a move on Potts up the inside of Potts. But Potts will have the inside for the next corner. Harris looking very threatening. Definitely got that pace. But this is monumental for the drivers because Rosu's still got to do a hard stint. The other two are medium stint. So he will have to maximise these medium tyres as things stand. And Kiziel is being caught by Chappers, but Chappers' light is flashing. It's so hard to regain battery around this track. And Chappers looking to make a move now on Kiziel for P2. Chappers side by side with Kiziel. Once again makes the move before turn 12. Kiziel not giving up on it, but Chappers covers it off nicely. And Chappers on a charge. As meanwhile, Hooveneers and McWilliams. Hooveneers has made the move past McWilliams before the corner. And covers him off as well. McWilliams' mediums may be crying a little bit more than the other mediums around him. As he's a little bit off the pace, sadly. As it's now Chappers with Kiziel behind him. Lurgestam has dropped off the back a little bit of Kiziel. And Harris has made the move on Potts, and it's Ule now catching up to the back of Potts. Once again, very important for the drivers this, because these two, if Ule outscores Potts by 2 points this afternoon, Potts is out of the Drivers' Championship. So this overtake could be vastly important if Ule can make it count. And it's the closest battle on the track as Harris picks up a 3-second time penalty. Watch him just take a little bit too much curb there and cuts the corner. As meanwhile, Ule is all over the back of Potts. Potts is definitely not liking his current setup. Or maybe not enjoying the fuel load, because he definitely had the pace in the sprint race. But this main feature race is been falling back through the order. And the constructors are blown wide open here as well, because Aston Martin will currently score the most points. And Alfa Romeo are having an American race to forget. This has not been the American dream. This has been the American nightmare. Kiziel still holding on to the back of Chappers though in P3. Kiziel currently probably looking good for the race win as things stand. Vizendi with that 4 wide into turn 1 will be very unhappy as he was the car that was bumped the widest. And he lost a lot of places due to it and then had an altercation with Hooveneers. But once again, it's going to be Ule looking to maybe make the move here on Potts. He isn't close enough now. And Chappers is taking tenths out of Rosu's lead. Chappers has definitely got a bit of pace that the others around him doesn't have. As Lurgestam picked up a 3-second penalty. That is very big for this race, because it's still all to play for. One bad moment for any driver with a penalty and you're right back in the mud. But Potts is definitely not enjoying the first sector. He's losing time to the cars around him. And Ule is closer than before. Ule might look to make a move here. Also, Binder having a nice kart race, currently in P8. Big shout out to Binder. Didn't have the sprint race he would have wanted, but he's definitely having a good main feature race. As Ule looks to go up the inside through turn 12. Side-by-side stuff with his title rival. Potts will be on the inside for the next corner. Ule looking to hang it around the outside. Still side-by-side. Ule will gets a big snap. A big snap for Ule. A lock up from Ule there. I believe he possibly gets Potts through there. I wonder if either of them got damage from that. It doesn't look like it, but that was a big moment. And Ule's coming into the pits. Ule possibly with some end plate damage there. That is insanity. Ule into the pits, lap 9 on them hards. He's going to have to really make the mediums last. It's going to be very hard around this track. But meanwhile, we switch back to the lead because it's Rosu leading Chappers with Kizil behind him holding station. And Chappers is still making inroads onto Vlad. As meanwhile, Ule drops all the way down to P14. Kizil taking a big W here, very true. Holding on to Chappers' DRS. And making the most of it. As Chappers is still clawing back at Rosu. Lurgestam now with Harris behind him. Harris has still got the pace and is looking to make a move on Lurgestam sooner than later probably. And then you see Potts in the background. But Harris is all over the rear of Lurgestam. He is constantly staring at Lurgestam's rear wing. And he's looking to make it. Runs a little bit wider through the long right-hander. Holding a bit more speed. Takes a tighter left-hander here though. Lurgestam survives another lap, but Harris is hunting. And talking of hunting, Chappers has made that gap go from 2.5 to 1.5. Chappers definitely has a lot of speed here. Same with Harris. Opted for the alternate strategy of the medium. And Harris is greeding for these corners. Harris up the inside, but on turn 11, makes the move on Lurgestam. What a send! And he will get DRS to defend Lurgestam off here. Side-by-side stuff. Harris and Lurgestam. Lurgestam not giving up, but then now pulls into the rear of Harris. Will Lurgestam look to make another send? Possibly, but no doing. Potts is 6 seconds behind Lurgestam. Let's have a look at that again. Harris... I caught the end of it. Harris up the inside of turn 11. As meanwhile for P11 outside of the points as things stand, Hugendorn, Monk and Elsom battling it out. Monk, who's already stopped once, not having a race to remember here. No safety cars yet though by these guys. One DNF for Alsop, who retired in the pit, but Rosu is being gained rapidly. Rosu struggling on these mediums. Chappers is not. And Kizil on the hards will be licking his lips. And meanwhile, Lurgestam still holding on to the back of Harris as well. And we've got a yellow flag, sector 3. It looks like it's Monk. Drunky Monkey's had a moment. But Rosu hasn't got the pace that the Chappers does on the same tyres, same lap old tyres. Ule sets the fastest lap. And now Monk into the pits again. Monk and Elson both into the pits. But here we have the race. This is the battle for the lead. Chappers looking to make a move on Rosu. Rosu defending though. Kizil still within a second. And Harris maybe getting dropped off a little bit off the back of Kizil now. Lurgestam still lurking. Potts is now all alone with Binder behind him. But it's Hooveneers, McWilliams and Vizendi catching up to Binder now. The medium runners surely thinking about pitting soon. Who will go? Will it be the undercut or will it be the overcut? Who's looked after their tyres better? Rosu really not enjoying these tyres now. And Rosu and Chappers both come into the pits at the same time. Who will have a better pit stop? As now Kizil is your race leader. Harris goes for another lap. Lurgestam stays out as her. Who will get the jump in the pits? Rosu into his pit box. Chappers is already into his pit box. Both onto the hards. Chappers right behind Rosu. So he doesn't jump him in the pit window. Now they've got to make these hards last till the end of the race though. And Rosu will still have to defend Chappers, who is hungry behind him. This is a rivalry from Season 4 in Mela. But back to the front because it's Kizil now with a 2.5 second lead over Alex Harris in P2. Harris making a brilliant recovery drive after his horror of a sprint race. Lurgestam holding on, but his rear is flashing now in P3, and then Potts, who is losing more time to Lurgestam, and Binder in P5. Hooveneers though, all over the back of Binder, looking to make a move now. Hooveneers up into P6. He does have a 3-second penalty along with Harris and Lurgestam though. And Monk is currently the last of the runners as Chappers has made the move on Rosu for P9 on the track. Chappers has got a lot more pace than Rosu now. Chappers firing and hards up already. And further back it's Ule who has already stopped. As Harris into the pits. So Lurgestam now goes up into P2, 3 seconds behind Kizil. Potts P4 will be P3, but still yet to pit. Binder not pitting, still on their mediums, looking to make them last. Hooveneers, as McWilliams now also into the pits, a lap later after his teammate. McWilliams pitting from P9, now in P10. As it's Hooveneers hunting down Potts. Ule back up into the points though. Very important. But now it'll be who of these hard runners is looking to extend this out. So it's Kizil P1, 3 seconds ahead of Lurgestam in P2, with Potts 8 seconds behind Lurgestam. As here we have Kizil still leading, Lurgestam P2, Potts P3, but it's Hooveneers making ground up on the back of Potts. Potts struggling for pace, not good for his championship this. As Binder has dropped off the back now and Vizendi is making ground back up on 2, but possibly has another pit stop to do. I would hate to do 27 laps around COTA on hard tyres. So we're going to watch as we believe Binder possibly coming into the pits this lap on their mediums. And he is indeed into the pits. Binder comes. Gets it slowed down in time. So Binder will come out. Will he come out ahead of Ule is the question. Ule now coming around the final corner. So Binder not getting past Ule, but Ule them mediums are going to be screaming. On an alternate strategy to everyone else, an early pit stop off of the hards. And Koff picks up a 3-second time penalty in P13. Meanwhile, Monk, in the back of the grid, will be begging for a safety car here. Hunting down Matthews and Elson. But this isn't for points, and this is very important for the constructors. As all three teams have only 1 point scoring driver currently. Rosu has lost the back of Chappers already. Already over a second. And Chappers is on the back of Vizendi. Chappers is flying. I wouldn't write Chappers out of this race just yet. Kizyul might be the favourite now. But Chappers, on these hard tyres, still absolutely flying. And that's up into P5 for Chappers. And Vizendi almost takes his rear end there. Very close. Now Vizendi into the grasps and to the clutches of Rosu. Kizyul, as Monk and Matthews are getting into it through turn 11. Who has the DRS though? And it's Monk with the DRS to defend Matthews off. So here we have Kizyul P1, Lurdestam P2, Potts P3. As Rosu is looking to make a move on Vizendi. Rosu up the inside of turn 1. Rosu for P6 here. Vizendi now really starting to struggle a little bit on them hards. 14 laps on them hards. As McWilliams has got past Hugendorn. McWilliams for P11 here. And there's cars around him yet to pit. He'll be looking to catch up to the back of Binder. He's got 1.5 seconds to catch. But back to the front because it's Kizyul having quite a quiet race as Van Loon is into the pits. Van Loon in P16 into the pits. And Harris has now got Vizendi as well. Vizendi's hards are crying. And Harris will now be looking to catch up to the back of Rosu. Rosu, 2 seconds off the back of Chappers. As Vizendi possibly looking to make a move back on Harris. But no doing, them hards, just the old hards not having the grip. As it's Kizyul now coming to start lap 16. Still leading as Kopf and Skowski are getting into it. And Skowski has got past Kopf. And Kizyul into the pits. Kizyul pitting, Lurdestam pitting. Potts also into the pits. Hooven is into the pits. So the hard runners now coming into the pits. Chappers will retake the race lead, I believe. He has...
Did anyone find Nemo's sushi in the end?
Thank you very much there, Will, for the subscription. I don't know if they found Nemo Sushi, but Chappers is now your race leader. Kizyul comes out alongside Rosu. No, Kizyul ahead of Rosu. It's Harris who's got past Rosu. Harris up into P2. Kizyul holds off Rosu though. Rosu P4. Kizyul on the mediums P3 and Kizyul will be looking to charge. Meanwhile, further back, McWilliams P9. Potts P10. McWilliams will be looking to hold up Potts as Ule is up into P6. Potts down into P10. Through goes Harris. So it's Chappers with Harris now behind him. Kizyul on the mediums will be looking to catch back up to these guys. And Rosu on the hards with his rear light blinking already has the Lurdestam looking to catch up to him on the mediums. And then after that, it's a 4-second gap to Ule on old mediums with Hooveneers, Binder, McWilliams and Potts. Potts having a nightmare here. And Monk picks up a 3-second time penalty. Drunky Monkey is definitely returned. Looking though to make a move on Hugendorn for P15. And he makes the move count. This has not been a good race for McLaren today, sadly. But Chappers is flying on them hard still. Harris has closed the gap a little bit up onto Chappers. And Kizyul on the mediums is looking very fast. A safety car would really shake this track race up. As Vizendi picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple track infringements. Potts will be looking to get past this train and catch up to Ule. This is very important for his World Drivers' Championship chances. As the three cars swing through turn 2. Binder with McWilliams in front, and then Potts behind, McWilliams behind even, and Potts behind him as Kopf is into the pits. And Binder has lost the DRS on Huveniers as Potts looking to make a move up the inside of turn 11 on McWilliams. Makes the move count. They'll both have DRS here. And Potts up into P9, past Vlad's teammate McWilliams there. This is very important. As Lergestam has got past Potts, but Lergestam has got past Rosu. And Lergestam has made the move count. That's Lergestam up into P4, Rosu down into P5, and Potts has now got past Binder as well. Potts up into P8, will be looking to catch up to Huveniers as Binder and McWilliams battling side by side. McWilliams with the inside corner and Vizendi eyeing them up. Has pitted for mediums. Vizendi still within a hunt of the points here. As these three are now squabbling it out. Through coming up to the penultimate corner side by side. Vizendi up the inside of Binder. Looks to get a better drive as well on McWilliams. The hard tyres now are definitely being gobbled up by the mediums. As it's now going to be Vizendi looking to make a move on McWilliams. Side by side with McWilliams. Vizendi up the inside. On turn 1. McWilliams unable to defend and Vizendi goes P9. McWilliams drops down to P10. But it's Chappers with Kiziel. Kiziel's made a move on Harris. Meanwhile, while all that battling was going on, Kiziel made a move on Harris and Lergestam picked up his second 3-second time penalty. So Rosu just needs to hang on really to them. But it's Ule 6 seconds adrift with Huveniers another 5 and Potts needing to catch up to Huveniers here for his World Drivers Championship chances to stay intact. But back to the front because Kiziel is looking fast. Harris is holding on just about to Kiziel and Lergestam looking to catch up to Harris. The field spread out a little bit now. But Kiziel has found a lot of time through Sector 3 and is closing onto the back of Chappers now. This will be for the race lead. Can he do it? As Lergestam closing onto the back of Harris as well. Kiziel later on the brakes closing right up to the back of Chappers. Chappers defends it though. We've got a yellow flag. For a moment, it looks like it's for Skowski. It is Skowski possibly having a moment there, but back to the front because it's Kiziel on the back of Chappers. And we have a yellow flag. We have a yellow flag, and it's Harris. Harris has spun and lost his front wing. No safety car though. Not even a virtual safety car. But Harris having a nightmare moment. Harris will have to pit again. As Kiziel eyes up Chappers, not able to make the move. But Kiziel's looking very, very racy here. Kiziel might be the favourite now to take this win. Lergestam now almost 2 seconds off the leaders. Rosu dropping 3 seconds off the back of Lergestam already. And Ule closing into the back of Harris. Harris without the front wing, of course. Huveniers has closed up a little bit on Ule here. And Potts has lost time on Huveniers. So Potts really not having the pace. In fact, Vizendi catching up to the back of Potts. Don't write Vizendi out to put a dampener on Potts' race this afternoon. But back to the front because it's Kizyul swarming the rear of Chappers. Kizyul in the Haas, the American car, wanting to take one home on home soil for the constructors, surely. Still very close onto the back there of Chappers. Chappers moves to the inside. Kizyul with the DRS as Lurgestam is catching up to them. And Kizyul for the race lead. But Chappers makes a switchback. Side by side. Maybe not enough space there left for Kizyul. Side by side still now through the double right-hander. Kizyul on the inside. Chappers on the outside. Chappers defends this time. And Vizendi and Potts are getting into it. Potts really struggling for pace here. And Vizendi for a switchback gets a big snap though. Unable to switch back on Potts. As Lurgestam spins Kizyul! Lurgestam has spun Kizyul out there. And Chappers with 7 laps now to go will be looking like the favourite to take home the win. Ule still going on these old mediums. But let's watch that again. I didn't catch a hold of it. Kizyul supposedly turning in on him. But it's now Chappers leading Lurgestam with Kizyul P3 and Rosu P4. It was hard to tell from the angle. Did he leave enough space? Because remember, if he's the car ahead, he only has to leave enough space for Lurgestam. Lurgestam does have to respect the space that he's given, but at the same time, Kizyul has to respect that Lurgestam is there. But it could be very much 50 and 50. But Ule now has Houveniers catching up to the back of him. Potts definitely lacking pace though here. And Potts is having to defend Vizendi side by side once again. And Vizendi makes the move. But back to the front because it's going to be Chappers who is leading this. Lurgestam with 6 seconds worth of penalties currently. Kizyul P3, Rosu P4, Ule P5 with a very fast approaching Ferrari behind him. And it's looking like Houveniers might make some moves in turn 1. Ule tyres must be screaming at him. How long has he been on them tyres? He's 13 lap old mediums compared to the 6 of Houveniers. Ule defends the inside though and holds it for one more lap. Meanwhile, Vizendi overtakes Potts and makes it count. And Skowski's retired. Skowski's has retired. And it's a safety car. It's a full safety car. Late drama. As we now have a full safety car. It looks like Skowski trying to come into the pits has binned it on pit entry. Skowski's binned it on pit entry. Could this be on purpose to allow Ule a free pit stop? All sorts. This could be Crashgate. This could be Crashgate. This is late drama. You never know. This could be Crashgate. Skowski putting it into the wall on the pit entry. Bringing out a safety car. Ule, whose tyres would have been screaming at him, now gets a free pit stop. Everyone's going to be soft. Chappers will pit. Lurgestam into the pits. Kizyul into the pits. Rosu into the pits. This very well could be Crashgate. Wait, Hooveneers is not... He's into the pits. I was about to say. Potts into the pits. McWilliams into the pits. Vizendi into the pits. Vizendi lost 2 places. Everyone will be soft for the final few laps of this race. Chappers will be leaning. Casey on mediums. Kizyul's gone for mediums. This has to be an error. As you see, almost all of the drivers are going out onto softs. Other than Kizyul. Does Kizyul know something that we do not? Is the tyre degradation that high? He's going to be a kip. He's going to be like a fish in a barrel. You got your wish. Safety car is out. There was a re-host, so he should have had softs. As the last of the cars now, as Kizyul made a fatal error. Kizyul has not. He started hard and then went on to mediums, and he's on for another medium stint with 5 laps to go. Surely this is Haas having signed Ferrari engineers. Surely. But this could still be Crashgate. Do not rule that out. Chappers now surely favourite to take the win. Lurgestam with 6 seconds worth of penalties. And Ule's back in contention here big time. As we have one more lap around on the safety car. As let's have a look at this replay once again. It was Ule. I don't know what that replay is. Oh! It was the spin. I'm not ruling out Rosu, but Rosu was like a fish in the barrel to Chappers when they was on the same tyres. McLaren with no penalties. And we're waiting for one car to catch this train up. Kizyul on the mediums can only hope that these softs are going to go off with 2 laps of racing on them. McWilliams up into P8. Monk, this brings Monk's race back a little bit to life. Elson will be very happy to see this safety car. The guys outside of the points, Harris especially after having a spin, will be ecstatic because he was definitely showing a solid amount of pace. The safety car surely coming in this lap. Safety car, please come in. We don't need another lap on the safety car. It is coming in. So Chappers will now take control of this race restart. Lurgestam, looking to not lose any time to him, has got to somehow make 6 seconds. As we're going to pull up the penalties. As Lurgestam with 6 seconds worth of penalties, Hooveneers with 3, Vizendi with 3, Harris with 3, Monk with 3, Koch with 3, and Matthews with 3. But we're about to get going, because here we have Chappers taking the final corner. And Chappers guns it. But Lurdestam gets a better start. Lurdestam all over the back of Chappers here. And Kiziel on the mediums might leave these two behind. As further back is Rosu with Ule behind him. The two championship rivals, Potts in P7, has a Ferrari between him and his two rivals. Elsom now picks up a 3-second penalty. As Koff is now into the pits. But it's going to be Chappers leading Lurdestam. Kiziel is already a second behind this group, as Vizendi has now made a move on McWilliams. Vizendi McWilliams getting into it. You see a bit of a moment behind. Someone's lost a wing. It looked orange. It looked like Van Loon's. As Kiziel and Rosu are getting into it. And Potts and Vizendi are battling it out, along with Ule and Huveniers as well. This is mightily important. Ule will be wanting to hold on here, as Harris has now got past McWilliams as well. McWilliams dropping off the back a little bit here. But yeah, you could argue Kiziel should have left space. Chappers setting the fastest lap. But Kiziel on these mediums is really struggling compared to the cars behind him. As Potts looking to make a move round the outside, as Harris has set the fastest lap. Huvenier is almost catching the back of Ule there. My voice is starting to hurt from this race. As it's Chappers leading Lurdestam. Kiziel 2 seconds off the back, and we got a yellow flag! As it's Hugendorf retiring in the pits. I already pulled up that Harris has picked up another 3 second. As Lurdestam has 6 seconds worth of penalties. And it's Rosu now, all catching up to the back still of Kiziel. Kiziel has a train behind him. It's the Polish Express. Rosu though, not gaining enough on Kiziel. 3 laps to go. 2 more times down this DRS straight. Ule in P5. Huvenier's P6 with a 3 second penalty. Potts in P7. And Alsop has left the session. And it looks like Harris has had a moment. Is that Harris? Harris has had a moment and is doing donuts instead. So it's Chappers now. Takes us over with 2 laps to go. DRS is now enabled. Kiziel is going to be almost just up the creek without a paddle. But it's going to be Ule looking to make a move, possibly on Rosu. Hoven is still over the back of Ule. Potts still hanging on there as well. And Vizendi is 6 to 8 tenths back. Vizendi struggling a little bit on these softs. As it's going to be Chappers still leading. Lurdestam picks up another 3 second penalty. Lurdestam, the king of track limits here. And we have a yellow flag, and it's for Drunky Monkey. Monk has spun again. But we're going to watch Kiziel now have to defend the soft runners behind. Chappers looking to break the Alpine curse. As Harris is in the grass here. But Chappers leading Lurdestam. Kiziel with Rosu all over his rear. Ule 6 tenths back with Huveniers and Potts. We're going to come on to the final lap. And Potts looking to make a move up the inside here of Huveniers. This is mightily important for the drivers. There's no doing though, as Huveniers defends him. And it's still Kiziel with a... Oh, and Potts has picked up a 3-second. Disaster for Potts. And Kiziel still with a train of cars behind him. Ule defends the inside from Hooveneers. As Potts has been passed by Vizendi. Side by side through the S section now. And Vizendi has made the move on Potts. Potts' Drivers' Championship could be over here. As Chappers now, with one corner to go. One DRS straight to go, sorry, not one corner. Potts has got back past Vizendi. Vizendi's had a spin. Vizendi's had a moment. But we're going to switch back to Kiziel because he's got a train still. Of Rosu, Ule, Hooveneers. Potts is out, he's just within a second. Rosu, he wanted to make the move to try and gain as many points as he can on his rival here. But Kiziel defends. And we've only got the Sector 3 to go. My voice is hurting. McWilliams now up into P8. And Potts with a 3-second penalty will drop down behind him and Binder. But here we go, as Chappers in the Alpine is out set to break the Alpine curse. Chappers P1, Lurgestan P2 with 9 seconds of penalties. It'll be Kiziel P3, Kiziel P2, Rosu P3, Ule P4, McWilliams brings it in P5. Lurgestan finishes P6, Binder P7, Hoven is P7, Binder P8, Potts P9, and Elson rounds out the points paying positions. Oh, I am exhausted. Ooh, what a race. 4 points between, there was the sprint race as well, which Ule may or may not have scored points in. It's a very contentious one. Oh, I'm out of breath. I do not have much time, so I'll only interview the top 3 because I do have to go somewhere. Whew. As here you have Chappers taking the top step in Tier 2 for the first time this season, I believe. What a race. I am exhausted. Oh. And there you have the standings after the penalties. What an incredible race we had today. As we're going to get ready to go to the interviews. GG's from everyone. Woo! What a race, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give it another couple of seconds because I do have to be somewhere very soon. Just for a few more drivers to possibly to arrive here. We're going to go to P1 first. Chappers.
Fuck
P1,
yeah now.
you break the Alpine curse too.
Oh, that's been a long time coming.
But
God.
you've done it. P1 in the Alpine.
Ah, God, that was hard. Oh, God. Yeah, I didn't actually think I had it. Until the safety car came out, I was like, maybe P2, maybe I can hold on. Because Lurdestam turned into a torpedo and took out my main, rival in the race, so I was quite happy. God.
And then the safety car at the end.
I was worried that it was going to be one of them Imola safety cars for me. I was really scared.
But you had the pace and you put it where it counts on the top step. Well raced.
Yeah. God, that was something.
And yeah, will we see you in Brazil once or twice?
Definitely tier 1 is reserved. I'm not sure about tier 2 yet. But either way, I've done what I wanted to. I got a win. I'm happy.
You got your win. And you didn't spin.
Sprint.
Well, you won the main race, which is worth 25 points.
There we are. That sounds a bit better. But I felt like I was, as the usual story, is quicker than everyone. It's just I had to pick medium hard to get through the field. And just, I think by lap 6, I was like P2 or something.
You definitely very rapid around there today.
Yeah.
Harris was very much on pace with you though. Matt trading fastest laps for a while.
Yeah, honestly, I was really surprised. I don't know. I felt bad for him because he, sprint wasn't ideal. But in the race, he looked like he was going to get something and then spun, I believe. Or was taken out. I'm not quite sure.
It was hard to see. There was action going on all over the track.
Yeah. I'd like to apologise to my Williams TP for the sprint. It won't happen again. Don't fire me.
Anyway, though, congratulations on your race win. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't know. It's just it's nice to see some crash gate tactics going on, making everything a bit more interesting, which is nice. Alfa Romeo, yes, wonderful tactics. Oh God.
Well, thank you very much for today, and we're now going to go down to. I need to work out who is next to pull up.
Ross used to go.
Well, Kiziel is not here, so we're going to bring up Rosu's teammate. McWilliams, P3 for Rosu, P5 for yourselves. Very much bringing back the drivers and the constructors into play.
I think today showcased a very good proportion of the season, which is Alfa Romeo their best, and it just isn't enough. I think they tried a little bit too much today. That crash was eerie, to say the least. When I saw that he'd retired, I looked at the mini map and I saw he was like on the corner, so like, oh, he's gone in the pit lane and he's retired. Okay, big deal. Then I see the safety card came out, and that's when I knew something was a bit awkward. Also, Ule was on for a 2-stop repit around lap 8 when he was on hards for mediums. It just didn't sit right with me. It's very, very weird what happened.
But again, double points paying for yourselves. Must be very happy with that. You extend the gap away from Merck and you catch up to the Alfa Romeos in the constructors.
Yeah, it was good to get our first double top 5 finish for the season, as unconventional, I guess, as it was. I think I was on for P9 on track, no P8, because Vizendi spun it. I was kind of like, oh, okay, P8, whatever. I was starting like 14th, I'll take it. And then I just see the penalties, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it'll be like P6, no, P5. So it was nice to see, but I was always rooting for you, Choppers. I see you. I was very happy for him when he crossed the line. He's gone through a lot this season. I'm very happy for him. Also, getting told I had a big boy desync before the race started. That was funny.
You did have a solid amount of desync.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a race for me without a bit of it, but I think it simmered down at the end of the formation now because I didn't really notice it at all until about the safety car. So I think it's when there's green flags, just normal racing. I think that's just when it's all chill. Was anything affected by it?
I think you calmed down, so we didn't see anything happen.
Okay, good. um, I had a bit of a heart attack as well during the safety car when it was it was coming in. At the end, the rear end of Mr. Evan Potts by accident, but thankfully nothing came of it. He had a pretty good race as well. It was for me. It was a feel good race. I was very happy on across the line because there was just so many positives we could have taken from today, and plenty to take forward into the last race.
Well, congratulations on a solid team performance for Aston Martin.
Thank you. Can we change the server name from Aston Martin?
I see it got changed.
Good.
Anyway, well raced, and congratulations on P3 and P5. I've got time for one more, so we're going to go to P2 Kizyul
Thank
now.
you.
Kizyul, P2, dangerous strategy with the mediums at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think you should have invited Lurgistam here. He deserves it, man.
He's not in the audience.
Oh.
He got 9 seconds penalty, sadly, on the track.
I mean, thank God he isn't here, man. He would have listened to some bad language from me. I was being sarcastic. He's a, I'm not going to say it.
Anyway.
He's a Lurgistam. That says enough about him.
With,
I mean, yeah, up to you.
Solid performance before that crash. You definitely had it.
Well, before Skowski crashed.
Before the Skowski crash, you definitely had P1.
Not really. Lurgistam fucked me up so much, man. Like I think I had a 2-second gap to Lurgistam, 3 seconds to Chappers. I think I would have gotten back to the DRS 1 second of Chappers, but then the hards would have been faster than my mediums, so then I would probably stay behind them whole race. But I think I had a chance today. If Lurgistam wasn't there, then I think. By the way, nice move from Chappers. I didn't expect him to just come back from the inside again. He pushed me wide, but I don't mind it. Yeah, but I think I could have won. Maybe I think it would have been a 50-50 since I think he would have stayed in my DRS till the end, and then he would just send it on the last lap when the hards would have been better than my mediums.
Well, once again though, P2, congratulations. Very hard racing from a lot of you out there.
Yeah, thank you.
And both you guys, 1-2 in the sprint as well, at least we forget.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, Chappers was pushing me all the time, but I was just, staying just before the DRS straights. I was making sure I've got a 8/10 gap to Vizendi. So just in case if Chappers wants to use battery and overtake Vizendi, I'm too far away and I can just get out of his slipstream and then I can use battery as well. So we all stay in the same positions all the time.
Well, congratulations. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close the stream today?
I mean, GG Chappers, I guess. And that's it, really.
Well, thank you very much. And congratulations on P2.
Thank you, Papi.
Anyway, sadly, that's all I've got time for today. It's been me, Martin, and you have been watching Tier 2 around COTA. It's been a thrilling race from start to finish. Join us on Wednesday, where we see if Swan can lock out the driver's title in Tier 3. Thank you very much, and goodbye.